What is up, wrestling fans? We are back again, and a lot going on. There's been like 3 or 4 Impact shows in the last week, since we last recorded. Viewership is high as it's been in over a year on that last episode. AEW Fight Forever straight up stole the introduction from the old TNA video game, word for word. Really funny, but sad. Now, don't forget to smash that like button. We are the backup team. Token is here, and I am Jay. But nope, that's a stolen intro. Early callback. This is motherfucking Discuss Impact Wrestling. I'm Jason, here once again with the Horror King, who we will get to in a minute. I think he has some cool PWI news. And Macklin. Macklin might be injured. Just trying to run down because there's a lot of shit that happened this week. And all right, Gary, go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, on the the PWI thing?
Yeah, our good friends at PW Insider.
What I have down here, Jay, is it's being reported that Steve Macklin suffered an injury in the Impact World Title match against Alex Shelley on Friday, which was night 1 of the Down Under tour. I guess the second night he was supposed to face Kazarian as well, but he was pulled from the event due to injury. And I guess they're evaluating him going forward as far as if he's able to compete. I'm not sure if it's like a head injury or something much more serious, like an ACL or something like that.
Bad timing. When the hell's Slammiversary? In 2 weeks? A week? 10 days?
It's 12 days, I believe, Jay, as of this recording.
So it's 12 days from July 3rd. I mean, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell injury he has, but it's going to be rough. And I don't know. I was trying to think of who the backup was, but we'll get into that after. So got to quickly mention our Impact Wrestling fan group, which is closing in on 1,000 members in just a few months, which is insane. And that group would not exist without this podcast and our boy Robles, it was his idea, and I just kind of ran with it. Gary's helping and whatever. And so, yeah, I mentioned how many shows. Impact had 3 shows since we recorded a week ago, plus an Australian showcase in front of Scott D'Amore. So it was kind of like, maybe someone will get signed, and we have results from pretty much all of that. But I think first we want to talk about this AEW thing.
Well, before we get started on that, Jay, we might want to, welcome people to the channel and wish them all a happy 4th of July.
Yeah. See, Gary's good with that stuff. I'm a straight to business. Also, we have a lot of new people in the group, so there's a lot of people who've been checking this podcast out. We really appreciate it, and more would be nice. So I'm pretty sure. Sorry, getting more podcast questions at the moment. Things are just really hot for us right now. So, Gary, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this AEW video game thing?
To be fair, I'm not big on video games per se. I'm not a gamer, if you will. But I mean, to steal it word for word is complete utter bullshit. I honestly think there could be a lawsuit here involved if Impact were to really not want to play ball with them after this either.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and play this for people. I'm gonna try and skip through. It's 40 seconds, but so sorry. Let me get my sound going on, and it's this. Okay, so this is the beginning of the TNA game.
There are moments when time stands still. When history unfolds.
Right, so I don't want to do the whole thing, so I'm skipping ahead to the AEW one now.
There are moments when time stands still. When history unfolds.
It's word for word. There's 10 more seconds, word for word.
Oh.
I mean, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got all that money. You can't come up. You know what I mean? You have such a big production. There's no reason you need to steal something so much that's word for word. Like,
and something like that. Like, just
what do they got?
Change a few words around. I'm a quote-unquote writer, and you can do that. You can change some words around. You throw in some of your own words. I don't even know.
Well, the thing is, Jay,
how does that happen?
Well, the thing is, they got our ex-production guy that's in the truck,
Oh, okay. So maybe there
You know,
was lazy.
totally.
Could it be just laziness and hoping
Yeah,
nobody
yeah,
would notice?
that's the only way to describe it.
Man, unbelievable. Like, I mean, to be fair, you can look around and nobody's really done much about, like, posted about it except Ringside News, who I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. But
Yeah.
when people report facts, they're facts. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
If this video game thing was bullshit, it would have come out by now. It's, you know, I don't have the game. I'm not gonna get the game. I don't play games or whatever. No, I would love to, but whatever. I got a hand thing, and don't cry for me. So yeah, so we got the AEW thing, Slammiversary updates. Probably shouldn't have mentioned this one. Plus, Gary has the card up, but I am pulling it up as I'm saying this, so it's okay. They had the what was that this week? Tag team match, right?
Yeah.
So the 4-way tag. Not calling them ABC. I don't care. I'm never doing it. I've been writing a bunch of stuff. I'm just not doing it. Ace and Bay versus Moose and Myers versus Sammy and Swan versus Subculture, who were just recently added to the roster page. Something Gary usually picks up on, but I beat him to it this week.
Yeah, I totally didn't see that. I'm glad you kind of revealed that. It's a bit surprising, Jay.
So, I mean, that's awesome, right?
Well, surprising, but not that surprising. You know what I mean? Because
I thought it was. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Is it like once you're on the roster page, you're signed? Is that how it works? Or
well,
like for the most part.
Yeah, I think it depends too. Like if you're New Japan, or you know what I mean, like kind of like Lio Rush currently. Like a lot of people are assuming he might possibly be signed, but it's kind of like that revolving door we have in New Japan.
Oh God, Lio Rush showed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how much has been going on with Impact. And a lot more excitement. Like we said, the viewership. Sorry, let me pull that up fast. The viewership, 149,000 viewers.
Really surprised with that 149,000 though.
Yeah.
That it have a much higher demo.
Well, yeah, I mean, the demo wasn't great. I mentioned it's 0.2, which is kind of the norm for them.
Yeah.
Actually, they've had 0.3 with
less.
maybe like 120,000 or something. So I don't know. I have no idea how that works or whatever. I mean, you can go people. I mean, even Meltzer has changed his mind on what's more important, viewers or, the demo based on like whatever he's rooting for, how it's doing. It's life, whatever. It is what it is. So but that was the highest since June 29th, 2023.
Well, I also heard a recent report that I guess they're looking at trying to do away with the Nielsen rating kind of thing, because it's like they're starting to see that it's very dated, and I guess you could. They're finally noticing it's dated.
20 years later, 50 years later, whatever. So, damn it! Australia. Impact was in Australia over the weekend for
I believe it's Wagga Wagga, North South Wales, I think, Australia. If I'm not.
Yeah, Wagga Wagga. That sounds like a fun place.
Wagga Wagga.
Oh, Wagga. just by the name alone there. And while I have it pulled up, Erica Reed became the first ever OPW Women's Champion at the Showcase. Now that's the one where Scott was, and it was like, who can. I guess it was a kind of a who can impress Scott the most and get signed kind of thing, or maybe just in the future they'll work with them. I don't know.
Well, I was very shocked to see one of the results in Steph DeLander getting the win over Killer Kelly. That kind of tells me that she's been signed.
Well, my good pal BJ, you know BJ.
Yeah.
He was not too happy with that. And at first I agreed. But then I thought Masha's just going to get angry and maybe, I don't want to say spank her or something, but that's kind of how it looks like things are going with that relationship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, like, her losing it could be...
It's pretty wacky.
You know what I mean? Like, she's... Like, I don't want her losing now that she's part of a story, and, like, we put a poll up earlier in that group. What are fans more interested in? Nick Aldis versus Shelley, which is the main event of Slammiversary, or Masha and Kelly? And right now, Masha and Kelly are dominating. Yeah, I think it's the most interesting thing they've done in a long time. It's hot. You know what I mean? I always say sex sells, and I don't give a shit what anyone says. I think that's proof.
Well, too, going into these two night shows, I think if anybody's kind of on the fence, if they think Joe Hendry's in Impact for the long haul, I think you can see it's pretty safe to say that Impact feels very awesome. You know, they're in an awesome way with him, and he got a couple victories on these two nights. So
yeah, sorry, really fast. Back to Slammiversary. I think they just announced the Ultimate X match this week. Bailey versus Gresham versus Kushida versus Kevin Knight versus Allen. They letting them fly Angels, who we've been talking about this for like what, months maybe. Now they're finally doing it, and I would not be shocked if he came away with like a surprising win. I would bet on it, but cool match. And also Chris Sabin versus Lio Rush, who we'll get into why Lio Rush is in Impact and how. But okay, so that's the Slammiversary card as of now. Those were the updates. Maybe something. Maybe Macklin will have to. Oh, also Darren McCarty was announced as the special referee for that tag team match.
They must have a lot of matches down the, like on this week's show to be announced, because if they only got like, did you say 3 matches? That's still like at least 6. Probably.
I think it's something like that. I'm trying to find it. Maybe I'll find it before the end of this recording. But just running down the night 1 results of this is Impact Australia, the night 1 show. To be fair, I have to point out it didn't look great and it didn't sound great, but that was on television. And I've heard from a few people who were at the shows. I think 2 of them just recently joined the group. Sorry, I can't pull up your name right now, but I'm pretty sure they said they had a great time. I'm actually going to try and pull it up as we're doing this. But so yeah, they said it came off great to like the fans there and everything, but maybe not so much on
I have
television. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a method to the madness of that night 1 to night 2. It's being said that Scott D'Amore and another production staff member worked the tour, and Impact hired a local production team that had reportedly never worked a professional wrestling program before. And this resulted in the production team learning a lot on the job, which explains why night 2 had such a superior feel as opposed to night 1.
Wow. Well, that's interesting.
They were both basically built from the ground up, though.
What I mean, but either way, I feel like it wasn't. What's the word? It didn't come out. I watched both nights, and it's not like one night came out looking much better than the other night.
Yeah. It's kind of like on the fly kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't look good, so I don't know.
I mean, anything you try first, usually you get a second chance to do it. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to improve upon it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I might have been aiming a little too high. I was just expecting kind of like a UK show kind of thing, the greatest thing ever with those UK shows. But I think you mentioned something about, was it PWI who said they're going to be doing more overseas in the future?
Oh, yeah.
Did I pull that out of my ass just now?
No, you totally did. You got it right. But I guess too, it was hugely positive, and it was the first time they've traveled outside of the country since 2018. So it says Impact is now aiming to set up similar overseas tours in the near future. So
yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. Got to to a different goddamn country for so long. That's really big. I just wish it just looked kind of like if it looked awesome, you know what I mean? Like it would have been so much different. Like, boom, they nailed the first tour, and there'd be no bullshit or whatever.
They had several hundreds of people there, though.
Yeah, then I saw the picture. I mean, you saw the picture, right?
Yeah, I saw
the picture. Looked fantastic compared to the television, I thought.
Yeah, because the night before, or not the night before, but the picture you had told me you got, it looked like there was 80 fans. I later see picture with it lit up, so you could see the fan base out there. There was, whatever they set up for, there was fans all around the ring, and I guess this event was more or less paid for by Australia, so it really wasn't on our tab. So I mean, no matter what it isn't really it isn't no way is it it wasn't unsuccessful.
Yeah, no, I mean, going by the seats and all, I mean, I'm not sure where they would have. Well, I'm sure they could have had more seats, but it looked like it was, I don't know, not sold out, but good enough. So good job overall. I mean, And if they're going to more places overseas in the future, that's awesome. And Keanu Nolan. I was at the shows live. Night 1 was good, but I do think Night 2 was better. I do think
that's probably what we're getting back to about just because, the experience factor being the second night, you kind of go with the flow a little bit better, and like things probably broke down maybe night 1 that, maybe presented it as being a, kind of a weaker show, if you will.
Yeah, it just looked better because of, like you said, they had the extra day or whatever. So, okay, back to, all right. So Slex defeated Adam Brooks. I guess that was the only, straight up PW, Oceanic Pro Wrestling. And then Giselle beat Erica Reed. Damn, I didn't even notice that. So Erica Reed did have a match, but this was before. So I guess they knew she was winning, you know what I mean, and gave her a shot against Giselle.
What I might add too, Erica Reed has a really good look. So.
Oh, totally. I wrote that in my little rundown of when she won the title. Not gonna lie, I don't know much about Erica Reed. I just saw, I saw parts of that match. I mean, honestly, I don't remember that match. I mean, actually, I wish I could. I'm gonna go back and watch it. I thought it was like Giselle's show against just like whatever. But knowing Erica Reed won that thing, now I'm more interested in it. So I got to check that out again. And I thought this was a fun one. Joe Hendry against Eddie Edwards. And you mentioned Hendry and how goddamn over he is everywhere.
Yeah, he defended his digital media championship, I believe, too, didn't he, Jay?
Yes. This guy's just super over. I mean, I like it. Eddie can lose. Totally cool. Killer Kelly got a win over Aisha from OPW. Yeah. And then a triple threat match. Sabin defeated Kazarian Kazarian and Robbie Eagles. That was a fun one. I didn't see much of Eagles before that, but
no, I bet
it was impressive.
That was, or coming out of that, I should say, it was probably really awesome.
Yeah. The Killer Kelly match was solid. And I mean, I mentioned I really like the Hendry one. I don't know, man. I just really like Joe Hendry. It's like kind of crazy. He's just so, I don't know what it is. It's like infectious.
And this must have been like before going further down the card. That must have been when Steve Macklin was injured. He was injured in the Alex Shelley match.
I get to the Shelley match. Hang on. Ace Austin and so I guess he got involved in that triple threat match when maybe Shelley popped in. I'm not sure, but maybe hang on. Let's see. So Ace Austin and Chris Bay defeated Moose and Myers. That was a non-title match, which I thought was kind of odd. I mean, I like it, how awesomely they're booking Bay and Austin, and it was a good match, kind of what I was expecting from these dudes. I love that new team, and it got a lot of time, almost 16 minutes.
Well, and I totally think with the result of this match, I think that's kind of proof that Moose and Myers will probably eventually get the straps down the road, because that's usually how you book things, like on a tour, the faces win, and then the heels kind of win the war, going into the tapings.
And nope, I was wrong. So Alex Shelley defeated Macklin in 21 minutes in the world title rematch main event. And that was right before Deanna defeated Steph DeLander. And man, she's got a great look.
Oh, Steph DeLander.
She's a good wrestler with a great look. I thought she was AEW.
Well, I guess
clearly not.
Thought the same as well. Much like Jody Threat, they thought she was going to be signed by AEW, and X swooped in there, and it looks like she's Impact bound from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so then Shelley beat Macklin in a 21-minute match where I guess Macklin got injured there, and that's it for night 1, and we'll pop over to night 2 where Adam Brooks defeated Robbie Eagles for the vacant OPW title. Congratulations to that dude. And then
Was it vacant or was it the first time champion?
I think that was vacant. Then the women was the first. Okay. Then the women's was the first time. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not real.
I'm reading my own writing, and I'm kind of an idiot sometimes. So, then the Natural Classics, who I got to say never heard of, but awesome name, defeated the Velocities, which I got to say never heard of them, but that is an awful name, and I hate them already just for that name.
Well, you might want to go by their real names for both tag teams. Stevie and Tomei Philippe, and Dude London and Paris De Silva.
All right,
for the
Dude London is all right. Well, I don't get the velocities, but maybe it makes sense in Australia. But I hate looking at it and typing it. But this was a solid little match here. I didn't get to see the Adam Brooks match. Honestly, I'm not even sure if that was on. Yeah, I guess it was televised, but I just missed it. And then Joe Hendry, man, how about this dude, the working man, back-to-back DMC defenses. This time against Moose. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is he the best? Is he the best champion in Impact in terms of booking?
I definitely think he is, because I believe that's the second victory owned over Moose now, going into their not combat match.
And I mean, Eddie the night before, those are two world champions, multiple.
Yeah, definitely. Those are those are two mainstays for Impact too.
And then Eddie defeated Slex, who is that from Ring of Honor?
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard.
Was there someone else? Somebody else with LEX? I feel like I heard that name.
Yeah, you might have. I don't know. I don't know. Is he an X Division wrestler? Do you know, Jay? Or
good question. I'm not sure. My bad, everyone. There was 17,000 Impact shows on this weekend, and I think also Money in the Bank. And I don't know if AEW had a show, but goddamn, that's a lot of wrestling. We still got Impact to get to, but Steph DeLander defeated Killer Kelly, and again, man, great looker. I like everything about DeLander. I love Kelly. I was cool with her loss here just because she's part of the Masha thing, and Masha's going to slap her around in a hot way. Then Kaz beat Myers. Solid win for Kaz there. Myers is the heel.
This was the match where night 2 Macklin was supposed to face Kazarian, but was not cleared to wrestle. So Myers must, to be announced kind of thing on the card, I guess.
Kind of curious who won that match. Who would have won that match? But whatever. And then there was an Impact World Title match. Awesome, like always. Whenever these guys face off. I was going to say ABC. I was going to say ABC. Nope. Ace and Bay defeated the Motor City Machine Guns, the X and the World Champion. And would it
be safe to say this was probably the best match of the 2-night event?
No. I would say not even close. I mean, it might be a personal thing. I just love, certain teams I love watching. They just have, I don't know. They're also two of the best goddamn teams in the world. I think it's one thing nobody would.
Very, very similar styles. Too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would even say they're not. You know what I mean? I feel like if you know of these guys, Motor City Machine Guns, I think everyone would say, if you know of them and what they've done and their accomplishments, they're one of the best ever. But whatever, I'm not getting into that whole thing now. And Knockouts World Title, Giselle Shaw got a title shot because why not? And Deonna Purrazzo beat her, luckily. At least for me, Deonna rules. Don't want to see her losing that title. And then, why does my voice keep changing? I don't know. And that's about it for that. And it is time for... What are we doing first?
The review. The review for June 29th.
The June 29th episode of Impact Wrestling.
But we might want to mention before we get into that, I'm going to mention this really quick. Happy birthday to the Swingman. He turns 48.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I thought you had more.
No, that's
okay. Well, then it's time for the main show. Come on. How hot is this song? You can shit on Impact for a lot of things, but that's a really good damn theme song. So, what the hell happened in this episode? This was the Lio Rush showing up episode. This was the Zachary Wentz returning episode.
We get a recap of the week before to kick off the show. And then basically we kick off the tapings in Atlanta at Center Stage with this particular episode, Jay.
I've been so confused. Where the hell are they? And when is the tapings and where are they? Usually I don't care, but good thing for Gary, who's a big fan of that stuff.
In this set of tapings, it's being reported there's only 3 weeks worth of tapings going into Slammiversary, I guess. I don't know. I would have thought there would have been a fourth, but whatever.
Sorry, just noticed we have a few mailbag questions. Going to get to that in a minute, everyone, so relax. Chris Sabin versus Trey Miguel for the X Division title. Sabin wins again. But Zachary, well, he won because Zachary Wentz attacked the referee. He's back. The Rascals are back, but this time they're evil. And another great match with those two.
Oh yeah, and I guess we might want to mention this is the rematch coming out of Against All Odds too as well.
Yeah. I forgot they've had a few of those. So I mean, I like that. I don't think it's always needed, but sometimes why not? You know, like I don't know.
Yeah,
like, I feel like I don't like the everyone deserves a rematch clause. Which
no, I don't like that either. I think it is what it is. You lose the title, you go to the bottom and start all over again.
Yeah. Okay, so what the hell happened on this show? Trinity defeated Jay Vidal, who hate to keep bragging about us, but I mean, Jesus, you can go back to us talking about Kelly and wanting more sexual stuff, and Kelly and Masha together, and Jay Vidal just put him in the goddamn ring against somebody because he's a very good wrestler, and this was a fun little match.
I like how Trinity calls him Do Boy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Trinity. I like Trinity. I've never had a problem with her, but like I never really liked her gear. I thought it was like too bright or something. But
yeah, I'm really surprised it works well with the lower level production versus say the W.
I was just gonna say, was she at the friggin' Australia shows? Because now I don't remember. But I was gonna say she definitely stuck out. She stood out.
She could have been backstage, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, or maybe I think at the Impact show, but like she's so bright, it's like it really is it's a genius thing. You know what I mean? Like you can't not look away from her.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like with the neon, like glow in the dark stuff since days of Jeff Hardy in Impact.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty slick. So good for them. And also belated happy birthday to Su Yung.
Oh wow!
Most everyone in the Impact room wants back. I think you agree.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's very much missed. Now that we don't have, the full blown Rosemary, now we have Courtney Rush. We kind of lose that, that dark figure in our females. So yeah, I'd more than welcome her back.
Yeah, and I could see it coming the way the well, I'm not sure if they had anything this week, did they? With the undead shit. Sorry, I don't know a better way to call that.
Yeah, there might have been a few exchanges backstage, maybe with Courtney Rush and.
Well, again, I gotta mention this part, and I really don't like it. I gotta mention this part, and I really don't like it because I feel like there's not enough heat on the main event matches. And so after the Trinity match, Giselle and Savannah attacked Trinity, and Deanna made the saves. Deanna was on the announcer's table, and she's even a good goddamn announcer. I mean, she's just fantastic at everything. But I just don't like the kind of friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
definitely. Like too close to Slammiversary. Like I don't think much is going to change, and if it does, it's only going to be a week of it.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Like I'm on the way of thinking like you got a title or something. You should be basically DTA with everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that you shouldn't have a friend along the way, but like, I mean, it could be the difference of you losing a title, forming
it's an interesting thing. Speaking of forming bonds, we had a Brian Myers segment, which I really like this. It was basically Myers and Moose talking. And Moose is like, yeah, we're cool. You got to drop these dudes. The Good Hands were like just standing there.
yeah. Like they were like, I don't know. They were like,
and I forget, Hotch actually said something that I think they walked off like, yep, that just happened. Like, we're out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed that it felt like Gia Miller was kind of checking Hotch out a little bit. I thought maybe not. I don't know. I'm not trying to get anything started.
Yeah, but I know. Yeah, you're gonna start a thing with Ace and Hotch. Good job.
I just got this feeling like I don't know. I don't know.
Nice mentioning her though, because God, I feel like we don't mention her enough, and I think she's just fantastic on BTI, and totally opposite of Josh, who bores the hell out of me.
Oh, speaking of Josh, did you see Josh backstage on this week's episode? Showed him on the monitor. Yeah, he was on the monitor. It's kind of interesting to see him again, though. Just in that, we're not used to seeing him.
Yeah, because he really hasn't been an Impact at all, right?
Yeah, not in, I don't know, several almost probably a year or more.
Don't get me started, because now I'm thinking Josh Matthews would be a better character than Scott in the wrestling thing, but whatever. He's a good talker, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the time with Jeremy Borash, and a lot of people didn't like that, but I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty. I hated it or I liked it. And then, all right, I guess we got to mention the footage of Swinger and Bhupinder from BTI with Zicky Dice doing a fast count, and good Lord, I don't know where this is going.
Putting up Swinger up, putting him up 1-0, and then later
it got overturned. Yeah.
Yeah, Santino.
Where is it going? I don't know. It's just, I mean, I guess. Yeah. I don't mind a little filler on a show, so I'm not going to complain too much.
Yeah, it totally doesn't really fit on the show, though. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
we're all serious and whatnot. I mean, we even have like sexual innuendos and stuff going on, and then we got, we got this stuff with.
It's weird. It's like the '80s guy,
kind of like being a jobber Goldberg.
Yeah, it felt like it used to fit in the past years, but they've become like more, I don't know, real. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So. Next up was Lio Rush versus Jack Price, and now I'm confused. So Lio Rush was announced for the show before?
Oh, for going into the... You mean to the
I'm
tour?
So messed up with all the timing and stuff. Well, it's not. It's on Impact. So Lio...
Yeah,
okay.
But I didn't know if you meant it like this was before the tour. Or...
Yeah, okay, now I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Impact was before the tour. Yeah, that's why I'm messed up. That's why I believe. I thought he showed up, but I thought he showed up to help Aldis. I totally forgot this match happened. But I thought it was pretty solid now that I'm thinking of it, and I really like Jack Price. I just like seeing, him getting
trying to think Jack Price,
solid jobber for now.
Yeah, Jack Price reminded me of somebody back in the day. I can't remember who it is now, but he was very much like a Jack Price. I don't know, just going into that match, I was like, God, he reminds me of somebody from him back in the heyday. But maybe I'll put that in the comments at some point.
Okay, now we have the two best parts of the night coming up, where Santino, Dango. How great was this? He said, Dango. He said, I remember he said something like, remember I said he called what's her name ugly, and like I don't think you caught it. And I'm like, yeah, man, he's really going for it. So this week, he said Santino got his break in the business when Jim Cornette slapped him in front of the boys, and he asked if his daughter Bianca gets slapped around down there.
Oh yeah, I did catch that. Yeah.
Oh man.
He goes, oh my God! He goes, you brought up my daughter. He goes,
oh man. Just saying that. That's like so like what you were saying, like the more adult stuff, like. Damn. She's a wrestler. If people don't know, she's like a wrestler in NXT, so it's like a real thing. She came from like the Impact on Twitch stuff. Remember she used to walk around doing the Twitch things?
Yeah, I do remember that, Jay.
Yeah, so pretty crazy. And then Kailin and Masha had a match. We'll get back to something we missed, but Masha got the win here. Good match.
I couldn't
really
get
good.
Yeah,
Kailin is really good. Masha's great. Kailin might even be great, and I just don't know it. But after the match was maybe the greatest thing I've seen in Impact in a long time, when Masha came down, wrapped a chain around her and Kelly's necks, and they walked off together. And Kelly had like the greatest facial expressions ever, like what's going on, and then like, oh my God, this is so hot. Yep, let's do it.
Pretty much one of the more racier things I've seen. I haven't seen anything like this since probably Mickie James and Trish Stratus back in the day.
Yeah. I was trying to think of what to compare it to recently, and all I had was the Beautiful People.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like the hottest kind of thing. Or maybe, okay, how about, Davey Richards and what's her name?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that too. Yeah, they were a real life couple, which made
that was pretty hot. Yeah.
Pretty much more.
Oh. It's everybody's favorite time. Time to dip into the mailbag. Okay. God, I wish I could pull up the other one because I thought we had two this week, but I will let Gary take this one, or at least start off with it before I jump in. Top contributor at, the Impact Wrestling fan group, Josh Pace asks, why are AEW fans so dramatic? Gary, you have anything on that before I jump in?
I don't know. Just from what I'm seeing, Jay. Everybody knows I'm not the biggest AEW fan. I just feel like their fan base is like overly entitled. They've never really had the hardship of having to deal with money issues so far. Impact's been around for 21 years, and they've seen a lot of change. And there was a time that we thought they were all going to go out of business, and I just kind of feel like they don't realize what they've got, and like even with all that money, they still can't capture the essence is what made Impact what it is 21 years later.
Well, you pretty much stole a bunch of what I was going to say, jerk. Yeah, I think that's like a lot of it that they haven't dealt with like the ups and downs, They've just dealt with a lot of ups to start off.
Yeah, because when you're signing somebody every week, it's hard for Impact to even compete in that magnitude,
Yeah, no, and I don't think they're trying to at this point. Maybe they're kind of chilling and doing something different, but they're obviously not competing with those two. But they are doing their nice little thing in their own corner, which I think they should be doing. Like fuck those two. Don't worry about them. Let them spend crazy amount of money. WWE it's in its own world, and AEW is kind of a lot bigger now in the U.S. at least. I didn't know this, but did you know you have to pay for AEW in Canada?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
So Impact is actually easier to watch in Canada?
So are you kind of saying it's kind of like Honor Club kind of in a sense in Canada?
I think it's just on maybe. I think it's on like a pay to watch kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the Honor Club was
when Impact would be like on sound like a CBS kind of a network.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or like NBC, like a regular network that's kind of open to the world or whatever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so we had another question, but I guess not. So yeah, I do think it's a thing. Like Impact fans have been beaten down for so long. Like we're used to everything, so
we're tougher.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, pretty much. And just because, because we've been through this shit for goddamn, people who've been watching forever. Like, how long has it been? You said 20 years.
21 as of I believe June. I believe Jay.
And how many of those years were you getting shit on by other fans? 18.
Yeah, at least.
What they had? What they had? Like a 3-year grace period, probably the same as very similar to AEW right now, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
So just jumping back to have a little Kaz Eddie thing, and I was wrong because he did lie on Killer Kowalski's name. We talked about that last week. Like I think that would be a little too much.
Yeah.
So that's what led to maybe we'll be better off as opponents, which I like, and I don't know. I guess I would have liked a tag team there, but I think they're kind of filling out the ranks quickly, and they don't need it. And then what do we have? Promo with Scott. Oh, Scott's promo. What'd you think about that?
I don't know. The more promos I like, I'm not.
I'm sorry. This is more of a video where it was Shelley, Sabin, Dreamer, and Kushida talking about Scott's impact on how.
Yeah. It served its purpose, but I'm totally seeing what you're talking about. Like each week we're getting a little bit of too much Scott time, and
yeah.
I think that's all. I think that's. That I think that kind of proves that our roster isn't as fruitful as we'd like it to be. We're having to fill the void.
I kind of think it is, and I just think I don't know, maybe wants to be a star that he didn't get to be or something. I don't know. But after this was Scott backstage with Gia Miller, where he did another promo. I'm saying another because he did one last week.
Yeah.
Kind of didn't like it, and he feels great. He's been training with the Guns. I did like that. At least make it somewhat believable. Like, okay, he's training with the two best wrestlers at Impact, you could say at the moment, the two champions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he mentioned Darren McCarty.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it was mentioned earlier too that Santino suggests the Good Hands were taking on PCO in a 2-on-1 match this week.
Yeah, that was after this. So, but here's what confused me: Scott didn't pick Darren McCarty. Gia mentioned Darren McCarty, and Scott was like, "Why is that needed?" You know what I mean? So who picked Darren McCarty? Who's, you know what I mean? Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's Santino. I think there's somebody. I don't want to say Ed, but I I don't know. Maybe it's just like a faceless character.
Yeah, and what was it? I think Scott made the reference to he wished he could have got some, I don't know, Toronto Maple Leaf player. I can't remember who he said, which was kind of funny though. I thought that was
so he's talking bad about this dude already.
Yeah, I think it isn't his like top choice from what I.
Yeah, I feel like they're setting up. Yeah, they're setting up something where McCarty's gonna like McCarty. Oh, Scott's gonna hit McCarty with a guy with his, what do you call it?
Or make it
book it.
He accidentally does it or whatever.
Book it. He is hitting that goddamn Petey Williams move. What the hell, Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, because
where is Petey, by the way? Did he get WWE'd?
He either went. I think he might have went down to NXT as an advisor kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I guess good for him and his life and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sucks for Impact fans. And so yeah, you mentioned the 2-on-1 match. What is that from next week?
Yeah, and they were too happy.
So we got two matches for next week. We got that one, and then Gresham versus Angels, which I saw in passing. Gresham, I saw, maybe it was on Twitter or something, because I always mention this. Impact's Facebook is just absolutely terrible, and I got it from the wrestler himself because I follow Gresham on Facebook, and everyone should follow the wrestlers on Facebook. So that's just a quick thing there. And Kenny got the king. Kenny got the king over Yuya. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This was very shocking for me. Like, this is the best I've seen Yuya probably in quite some time. But it is interesting to note, Yuya at his probably one of his lone victories actually was over a Kenny King.
Interesting.
Which is kind of weird.
Interesting note there. I mean, yeah, I always say the same thing about Yuya. Like, he's very good. Like, that's about it. And maybe that's not that bad. Not everybody needs a character. Not everybody needs a push or. You know what I mean? He's like a mid-card He's like a mid-card jobber, or like even bigger.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Yuya's that kind of wrestler. Like, how talented Kenny King is. It's like kind of so awkward, I think, for a Kenny King, because he's like hard to kind of like unorthodox, if you will.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun match because like different styles and all, and
I wasn't expecting much.
And I don't think there was any bad matches on this show. I mean, maybe there wasn't a lot of them, but then it led to Nick Aldis.
Our good friend on Impact Asylum, Will. He mentioned that it's probably one of the best impacts he's seen in probably a month and a half, and I kind of tend to agree with what he said there.
4 matches. I always think that's about perfect. Let's see. I would agree, but I think it would have needed one more awesome match. I mean,
That's fair.
I'm going by He-Man Chu right now, because I don't like using my own grade sometimes, because what if I'm biased? But He-Man Chu is not. This dude reviews everything, and he gave the first match 3 stars, second match 3 stars, third match 3 stars, fourth match 3 stars, fifth match 3. Sorry, all the matches got 3 stars.
Oh wow!
So, to me, I think the first one should have got like 3.5, and then if it's going to be like one of the greatest shows in Impact, it's got to be like you need 2 4s or like 2 3.5s.
I think with me, the bar has been kind of set so low over the last 3-4 tapings. Like, this just kind of stands out to me. You know what I mean? I think that might be.
Maybe like us, he's going to give an extra few points just for the Masha Kelly stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everybody's so into that. It's crazy, and it's just the start. You know what I mean? It's whatever. That's just so awesome. And subculture might be full time now, which is awesome.
I think some of the things that went down, like to end the show, kind of like put the nice icing on the cake for me.
Sorry, I almost missed the whole goddamn ending.
Yeah.
So Nick Aldis comes out talking about his explanation of why he turned heel. Shelley came out saying nobody cares about your goddamn explanation. You big show turning piece of shit.
Aldis was getting a lot of go away heat, like serious heat in center stage whenever he would talk.
I think people kind of, I don't want to say see through it, but like he's just not a good heel as compared to like they built that goddamn face character, and I think that's what everyone wanted to see. And
I guess in NWA, he was pretty much hated here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean that could be it too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I was really into the whole Oldest face character, and it just kind of felt very quickly how they did this. But it is what it is, and I feel like he's going to win the title at Slammiversary. Maybe not, but I kind of feel like it. And maybe Mickey, who has just been announced for her first match since leaving Impact, was announced for an independent show.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
So possibly, I'm thinking maybe she comes back at Slammiversary. Maybe she helps her husband, or she just messes with Deanna and helps Trinity get the win.
Yeah, that could
be.
I was also thinking we might get his old buddy from NWA, maybe on loan if he's Lattimore, Thomas Lattimore. Like, I wouldn't be surprised that he makes a debut, because Impact, we all know Impact is very famous for having like appearances at Slammiversary and then make the moments that, that make the paper special.
James Storm kind of guy.
Yeah.
I did like how he mentioned like Harley Race and Flair, and because like that's the kind of champ I hate to see them put him in the same sentence with them, but like he was so goddamn good at NWA, and he said he wants to humiliate Shelley, and out comes Lio Rush. Right? Am I missing something? Or
yeah, he totally did.
They started like going at it a little. Oldest and Shelley in the ring, and then Lio Rush came out.
Yeah, I think Rush took a swipe at was Sabin already?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Sabin was out.
Yeah,
there.
I think he might have come down because I think what happened is, didn't he hit Shelley with the title?
I think Oldest. Well, I'm not sure, but I remember Oldest
hit him with the title, and then I think Sabin come down to help him, and that's when we see Lio Rush jump I believe the hard cam side. He jumped out of there and then like jumped him and like hit him with the title, and then they both kind of looked at each other like, I kind of got the gist that there might be some kind of faction where they wear suit jackets, kind of like a Fortune kind of thing.
I was thinking these two don't fit at all with each other.
Oh, they totally did. It's like gigantic. One's like a midget.
And I couldn't figure out any. And I couldn't even figure out
person.
I couldn't even. Yeah, it's cool. We're not PC here. I couldn't even figure it out, but until like afterwards that it's Aldous against Shelley and Rush wants Sabin's title, right?
Yeah. They kind of
like that's the story. So that's why they're, helping each other at least, or like
definitely. I just got that feeling though. Like
you might be right. They might be putting a stable together. Like I just got the feeling of those two look so weird together.
Like one former NXT,
just like such a weird.
No knock on all this, but he's never been. I mean, other than New Japan and maybe a little bit in AEW, hasn't really been on the big stage. You know what I mean? And like these two are like kind of like. One's kind of accomplished a lot, and the other one hasn't really accomplished much.
And hasn't been part of a stable in a long time, Oldest, I believe. Yeah. So and Leo was brand new. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt a little weird, but I mean, it makes sense if you think about it, like with the titles, and that's just how they ended the show. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, other than the tag match coming up.
It had me hooked, I must say. This way that I like it when a show ends like this. Like. I there's a small part of me that likes to see the heel standing tall for once.
Oh yeah, I think they should do that more.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I would do that more if I was a booker. And it's a story that leads into next week. It's a pretty simple goddamn thing, instead of just having a random finish to a show. Remember when remember when they were doing those things at the end of the shows where it was kind of like, what the hell was it? It was like teasers. Shit, what am I talking about? Was it the Slammiversary thing last year when they had like the people coming to Slammiversary and they kept teasing it for weeks? Is that what I was thinking of?
Oh, kind of like those vignette things with Josh looking in some box or whatever. Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know why we don't do more things like that. Kind of give.
That was Slammiversary, right? Like
I believe it might have been, or one of the bigger pay-per-views.
I'll say that was like the Who's Coming, because like WWE just like they had gotten rid of a bunch of people at the time.
Yeah, just as long as we don't have no more UFC, people popping up as the big surprise.
But I always say, like, even if you don't know who it is, like, throw somebody out there, like, hey, we got a huge name coming in a month. I mean, it would have worked with Lio Rush. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like Tony would have done that, even if you don't keep Lio Rush. Who it looks good for a week. You get more, whatever. And I'm not going to complain about that all now.
I totally think he's really happy in Impact, though. He looks like he's kind of re-inspired again.
And that's the thing. We were kind of complaining about lack of talent, weeks ago, and I feel like they just got Wentz and Lio friggin' Rush. I mean, that is two huge names right there. I mean, that one makes a tag team. One is could be a top X Division guy.
Well, then we had
other people.
Well, then we had Steph DeLander for a bit. She went away, and then she come back for the Australian tours, and I'm pretty sure she'll probably be showing up in tapings after Slammiversary, more than likely, Jay.
Yeah, and I'm curious how much they show from, or if anything.
Honestly, it'll be like the best of. Maybe try to take the 2 nights, because I don't know any other way they would do it.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking because it was on Fight TV.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That they can't really show that much, but fans can see highlights on YouTube, which is pretty cool. Of I think about 6 matches that happened.
Oh,
and yeah, that's about all I got.
Did want to add a note to tonight's podcast?
Nope, not allowed.
Trying to bring it up. Apparently, let's see, I have it on the thumbnail. Like, my computer's acting kind of wonky. Well, you can check it out in the thumbnail. It's being announced on May 2012. The episodes
2020, 2012. That's a billion years from now.
2012. There's now on Impact Plus, there's episodes from May 2012. They're now available in HD, so you can check that out on Impact.
Oh, yeah.
And next week, we're going to be skipping podcast shirt of the week this week because we had all this news that returns next week. So let's watch for that.
Yeah, but let me mention that PWTs is having a really awesome sale for the 4th of July week or whatever. So check that out. And maybe Shop Impact. I don't know. They don't answer my emails, so I care a little less about that part.
And Impact's on tour again on August 20th with Multiverse United 2.
Oh, shit, I forgot about Jesus. They have so much going on. Holy crap.
Yeah.
All right, well, He-Man Chew gave this a 7.2. I got to go higher with a 7.8, maybe just an even 8. I mean, I got to give, you know what I mean? It wasn't I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go slightly higher. I'll either give it a 7.9 or about an 8, somewhere
around. It
was
nothing was bad. Everything was good, but nothing was great. And there was a few skippable moments. We forgot Joe Hendry's new song. The stripper video for Stripper Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that, Jay.
And man, people love this guy and that shit. And that's the kind of thing it transcends wrestling because it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could show that. You could show that to a
he's really I mean, I don't know if he sets down and comes up with all of these either. I don't know if this is.
I think he does.
Yeah, I think he does too. But I mean, it kind of feels like back in the day when you'd watch WWE and there would be a reason to tune in because you'd have this really cool face.
Yeah.
And, he'd come up with these weekly things, and I don't know, just would always have me hooked. Just had you hooked every week, wanting to what was going to be next from him. You know what I mean? Or what will be.
It's a cool thing. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Acclaimed, but people love them just because of their introduction, what they're going to say this week. And I think it's a similar thing with I'm blanking on his name at the moment. Jesus, who the hell are we talking about? DMC champ. What the hell? Why can't I think of his name?
Joe Hendry?
Joe Hendry, yeah. Damn it, he just appeared right behind me. But Hendry has been fantastic, and it's just a cool thing, like you said, everything that what they're doing there. And now we got 2 minutes left to talk about what movies we saw this weekend. Or this week.
Oh, I went out on a limb there because you said, was it Run Rabbit Run?
Wow, you actually watched it?
Yeah, I did watch it. It's kind of creepy, but it's not. It doesn't really show anything. It's just one of
my kind of movie.
Kind of has a creep factor, but nothing much happens. But it's it's kind of a mystery kind of thing. Like it's very intriguing for the mystery. So if you get a chance to watch Run Rabbit Run, I believe it's on Netflix right now. So check
Sounds
that.
like more of my movie than yours.
Yeah, maybe because it's kind of like more thought provoking. I'm kind of simple, like super cheesy
Cut
and
everyone's heads off and everyone.
yeah, the basic stuff.
Whoever is banging in the woods deserves to be murdered. That's Gary's life theory or whatever. I saw Indiana Jones, and my God, what an amazing letdown. I mean, it's everything the critics say, which I hate to say because I don't like most critics, but it's got the greatest goddamn 30-minute opening, and then it is just shit for 2 hours. And then the ending for the last 5 minutes is fantastic. So, oh, man. I have to just say, please don't spend money. You're going to fall asleep. Wait for it to come to whatever.
Well, your opinion, Jay, is it as bad as Crystal Skull? I didn't really.
I honestly think,
Skull.
recently, after watching them both again, I think Crystal Skull is a million times better.
Okay.
And I think Crystal Skull is easily the worst of the, And then I watched Last Crusade again, and oh my God, holy shit! I mean, they should have just stopped there. I mean, you got those two actors. I mean, it was insane. And the problem with this movie is the girl. I don't know her name. They had absolutely zero chemistry. Like it's painful to watch. And
yeah, I know what you mean.
The first half hour is so cool because it's the young indie and it's like a totally young adventure, and like that should have been the movie.
Well, I mean, it was just fun watching The Last Crusade because Indy is like, "What are you doing, Dad?"
That was just that's what I mean. Like they bounced off each other amazingly, where these two had nothing at all like that. Yeah. He was just like this mad old guy, and she's the friggin' Star Wars girl who pops in and she can do literally whatever she wants to. I don't know. She's a girl, and that's how they make movies these days. And that's about it. Got to keep it under an hour.
Yeah, sounds good.
See y'all next time.
Have a good 4th, everybody. Stay safe out there. Drink responsibly.
Damn it, you stole my line again, you son of a...